I am Christina Sichangwa and I am a recording artist. There's not much to tell, like many people I've interacted with. I grew up, in church, and my sister and I used to sing a lot, like in Sunday school, in the talent shows, like the church, setup. So I really did enjoy it. But then when I went to school, it just wasn't cool anymore, for lack of a better term, to me personally, and I wanted to focus on being an academician. So it's something that I kept private, just between me, God and the shower head. So I can't say it's a side of me that has been expressed publicly till now. Yeah. I've always been a writer. Like, I consider myself a creative. Like, I wouldn't put myself in one specific box, but I've always loved writing. Me and the pen and paper are best friends. I've won like a couple of awards for it. So I figured, funny thing is, I thought I'd have other projects sort of come out before this. This was all new. It all started last year in November after Dominion Conference Global, or just a mega conference the City of the Lord Church hosts. And on our drive back to Kasama, like, it was just something that was inspiring me. Like, the Lord and I have several conversations that I penned down, but these ones were more musical in nature, and I found myself truly enjoying it. Like, I thought I already enjoy it, but yes. So I think that's basically the background. It's been a year, and millions, I speak in faith, of songs later, and here we are. Tule, kabila, imwe for me is, to give you a visual, when I was growing up, back then, I don't know about now, wrestling was like the sport. Like, we were all such huge fans. We'd gather and watch it together as families. And something I loved a lot was how they would announce, the champion. Like, he weighs 255 pounds, he this. Like, with that in mind, I had a conversation with the Lord once, and he told me, Christina, the world is a game of connection. So who's your connection? And we joke about this a lot, like, I gave my uncle my files. Up to now, it's still seeing what he can do about it. But like, for a girl like me, I related so much to what he was saying, because having grown up with a single mom it took a lot for her to bring us to this place. All we had was God, and all she taught us was God. So for me, it's like, I'm introducing you to my champion. Like, that's why the verses go as they do. Like, he stands with you in fire. He, like, it's me, like, sort of like woo, 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 like boostele for my champion, like, and then responding to him, like, responding to that question. Like, for me, I rely on you. Like, you are my connection. I would say, in a nutshell, is what inspired the song. That's all new. So like I said, I'm very content with having these personal conversations with the Lord, and when I felt inspired to then go into the studio, I really didn't even know where to start, because I've never done this before. I can't say I'm crazy close with so many people who do, but then I did have some very life-changing conversations with, like, some key people in my life who have done these things, and by the grace of God, connected with Mr. Cubs Candy, my producer here, and we were able to just start. And I think for me, the biggest thing I'd say about it is it was literally like the song. I had no idea, no experience. Ask me what a key is, I did not know. But it slowly just came together. It was a lot of fun. I felt like I belonged. My first day there, I felt like this is my world, this is it. And yeah, I would say it was a lot of fun. I've learned a lot and continue to learn a lot from being in that world. Yeah. I think for me, it meant like faith in action. You know how the Bible tells us that faith without action is dead. For me, it was that, like, I'm very passionate about not being ashamed of the gospel. Like, whatever platform, in whatever way I can, I will shout it from the rooftops, that who Jesus is and what he can do for others because of what he's done for me. So for me, it felt real. It felt like another opportunity God is giving me to declare the gospel, to declare who he is to the world. The Bible tells us how we are living epistles. Like, some people were the only Corinthians and First Peter that they will ever read. And if someone will only ever truly encounter God through music, then I'm blessed to be one of the vessels that God is using. That's the mindset I would have every time I'm in the booth. Yes, so I would say for me, it's just an honor to have another platform to share the gospel. Whew. Funny thing, this is being shot before it's released, but I've had the record for some months, and I think my mind shifted. I believe if anyone is a perfectionist such as myself, there's so much that you start obsessing over perfection, over administration. And so for me, it was like a shift from the artistic side, like wanting to make sure it's expressed a certain type of way, to just focusing on the impact that this ministration will be for others. So it's just been that, like, my focus has just been like hoping that now God does his part, like spreads the gospel through this song and touches the lives of people, and people don't, in this fast-paced world, don't feel you don't feel less than. If you're an orphan, you don't feel like the Bible says he's the father to the fatherless, the husband to the widow. Whatever your situation is, he is the guy. He is your connection. He's the one that can take you from point A to B. He's the only one whose CV is filled with making possibilities where there were impossibilities. And that's been my focus, like hoping people get to know God as, him. Yes. I think for me, much like any other project that I do, my desire is just for you to get to know God more and more personally. Having grown up in the church, I had heard of him, I had seen what he did for my mom and whatever, but it took a personal relationship for me to know God for myself and find me in him. And I pray that this song touches you in that way, that he reminds you that you have the biggest connection there can ever be. So the sky is not even the limit. There's room for you at the top. There's nothing he can't do. And above all, that you do not be ashamed for having faith. Many other times, like as a believer in this society, it's like, oh, if you don't have the this, then where is your God? But never ever feel shame for being on his side, the side of the champion. He's the champion, and he would definitely come through for you. Tule, kabila, imwe,